The given question is an easy GMAT data sufficiency practice question. This sample question is from inequalities. Tests some very basic understanding about positive and negative numbers. The question is A positive? We have two statements, but before we look into the statements, let's get clarity on what kind of a question is this, what is the answer to the question, and then proceed to evaluating the statements one after the other. The question is a B verb question, it's an is question, so the answer is yes or no. The data is sufficient if you get a definite yes or a definite no. Getting a definite no also means that the data is sufficient. The data is not sufficient when we say that, hey, I have a case where A is positive and I have a case where A is not positive. What do we mean by A is not positive? A could be negative or A could be 0. In both these instances, A is not positive. So data is not sufficient when we are saying both possibilities exist. I can find an example for A being positive with this information. I can find an example for A not being positive with this example. Then we'll say the data is not sufficient. Start with statement 1. Statement 1 says A minus B is greater than 0. The approach I'm going to take is counterexample. So let's look for one example where A minus B is greater than 0 and A is positive. And another example where A minus B is greater than 0 and A is negative. What does this translate to? This A minus B greater than 0, essentially A minus B greater than 0 points to the fact that A is greater than B. A is greater than another number B. Could A be positive and be greater than B? Yes. Could A be negative and still be greater than B? Possible. So let's just take two examples to round this up and say that knowing that A is greater than B is not sufficient to decide whether A is positive or otherwise. Example 1, I'm going to go with A is equal to 10, B is equal to 2. A is greater than B. Is A positive? The answer to the question is an S. Let's look at a counterexample. Counterexample for us is, let's take A to be equal to a minus 2, B to be equal to a minus 10. Is A greater than B? Yes, in negative numbers, lower the magnitude, larger the number. So A is greater than B in this case. Is A positive? No, we have taken A to be a minus 2. The answer to the question is a no. So we got an S, we got a no, which means a counterexample exists. If a counterexample exists, then the statement is not sufficient. Statement 1 alone is not sufficient. 1 alone not sufficient. Rule out answer options A and D immediately. Don't even bat an eyelid. What are we down to? We are down to B or CE. I'm giving this gap to say that if we evaluate statement 2 and that ended up being sufficient, we'll go with B. If 2 is not sufficient, then we go to the step of combining the statements to check whether it is C or E. That's why this gap between B and CE. Quickly summarize it in a printed form. We're looking for a counterexample. The idea is knowing that A is greater than B is not sufficient to decide whether A is positive. Here's an example where we have gone with A and B being negative, A being greater than B, but A is negative. We've taken another example where A is positive and A is greater than B. I took some different numbers. You have taken different numbers in the printed version. There are umpteen numbers which will work. It's not just these two sets of numbers will work. So we have a counterexample, which essentially means every time you find a counterexample existing, you can say that that statement is not sufficient. Statement 1 is not sufficient. Rule out answer options A and D. We are down to B, C or E. Let's evaluate statement 2 alone. That's the next step. Statement 2 says that 2A minus B is greater than 0. Approach is exactly the same. Logic is also the same. This translates to 2A is greater than B. The last case we had A greater than B. Here we are having 2A is greater than B. Again, counterexample will exist, but we'll take one set to exactly establish to ourselves that our inference is right. Example 1, I am checking out 2A being greater than B. I'll look for an example where A is positive. Let's say A is equal to a 5, B is equal to an 8, 2A is equal to a 10. So is A positive? Yes, we have taken. Is 2A greater than B? Yes, 10 is greater than B. So this example satisfies the condition. Is A positive? If A is 5, A is positive. The answer to the question is an S. We'll look for example 2, which is going to be a counterexample. I'm going to go with A to be equal to a minus 5. I'm going to go with B to be equal to a very small negative number or a large magnitude negative number. Let's say B is equal to minus 10. 2A will be equal to minus 10. Is minus 10 greater than minus 100? Certainly. In negative numbers, lower the magnitude, larger the value. Is A positive? No, A is a negative number is what you have chosen. So the answer to the question is a no. So if 2A minus B is greater than 0, translating to 2A being greater than B, is A positive? There is an instance where it is. We have found an instance where it is not, which means a counterexample exists. If a counterexample exists, then the statement is not sufficient. Statement 2 alone is also not sufficient. We were down to B, C or E. 2 alone is not sufficient. Eliminate answer option B. We're down to C or E. Combine the two statements to check whether it is C or E. But before that, let's wrap up this discussion about statement 2 in a printed form. Going with counter example, I've taken some other set of numbers, minus 3, minus 100, 2a is a minus 6, minus 6 is greater than minus 100, which means the statement is satisfied. Is a positive? The answer to the question is a no. Going with another set of example, a equals 10, b equals 12, 2a is a 20, 2a is greater than b, the statement holds good. Is a positive? Yes, the answer is yes. We found a no, we found a yes, satisfying the statement. So statement 2 alone is not sufficient. 2 alone is not sufficient. Of the 3 choices, let's eliminate b. We are down to c or e. Combine the 2 statements. Data that we have, from statement 1, we can say a is greater than b. From statement 2, we know 2a is greater than b. We'll have to pick such values for a and b such that both a and 2a are greater than b. And going with a counter example as the approach here again. Example 1, let's pick examples which will make sense. A should be greater than b. I'm going with a positive value for a. A is a 10, b is equal to a 5, and then we have 2a will be equal to 20. In this case, both a is greater than b and 2a is greater than b. Is a positive? The answer to the question is an yes. We're going to go with a counter example. Let's take a to be equal to, let's say, a minus 10, b to be equal to a minus 100, 2a will be equal to minus 20. Is a greater than b? Minus 10 is greater than b. Minus 10 is greater than minus 100. So a is greater than b. That is satisfied. 2a is a minus 20. Minus 20 is also greater than minus 100. 2a is also greater than b. Is a positive? No. If a is a minus 10, it's a negative number. The answer with this set of example is a no. Both these examples, example 1 and example 2, satisfied both these statements given to us. So picked examples that satisfy both the statements. One case we got an yes, another case we got a no. A counter example exists despite combining the 2 statements, which means the statements together are not sufficient. At the end of evaluating statement 2, we were down to C or E. Together the statements are not sufficient, which essentially means that answer option E is the correct answer. The given data is not sufficient. Going with an example, A minus 3, B minus 100, both 2A and A are greater than B. Is A positive? No, the answer is no to this question. Looking at this example, A is a 20, B is a 15, 2A therefore becomes 40. 20 is greater than 15, 40 is greater than 15. So A is greater than B, 2A is greater than B. Both the statements hold good. In this case, A positive? Yes. So we have found an example with no, found an example with yes. Counter example exists, which means that the data is not sufficient despite combining the statements. Choice E is the answer to this question. Right? It's a very simple question. The idea is basically to drive home the fact that when you're looking at negative and positive numbers, in negative numbers, just watch out for picking numbers in a proper way. Because negative numbers, if minus 3 is equal to A, minus 6, 2A is going to be minus 6, that's going to move further to the left. So pick B, which will satisfy both the cases. Don't pick B to be a minus 4. You might be tempted to take such a number and you might have got an answer which probably is not what this is. Right? Very simple question, not more than 600 in terms of level of difficulty. Before you leave, I want you to do 2 things. Sign up as a trial user at the URL given there, wzko.in/core. It's the most comprehensive and affordable online GMAT course available on the web, available through an iOS app, available through Android. Right? Start with the free topic, statistics and averages. It will take you about 6 to 8 hours to gather momentum into your GMAT quant preparation and also to understand how our teaching methodology works. If you find the teaching methodology helping you, pay and unlock the remaining 19 topics in 8 modules behind the paywall. Secondly, before you leave, subscribe to this channel, youtube.com/Vizako, and turn on notifications. Until next time, stay healthy, stay safe, and stay motivated.